Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll get a chance to see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings as they take on Matt Moore and the Kansas City Chiefs. With that, we're off to Arrowhead for the call from Kansas City. We'll hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Kirk Cousins bringing out the Minnesota Vikings, who are hot after a Week 7 win at Detroit. That's now 3 straight victories. They're at 5-2. And Cousins, Charles, he has been sensational in those 3 games, all 3 of them over 300 yards, 10 touchdowns to 1 interception.
How about the quarterback rating? 130 or above, and the best you can get is 158.3. And it's been very interesting because since the criticism from earlier this year, you know, the big loss in Chicago when they didn't play well, he has said, you know, I play a little bit better when I'm ticked off, you know, at least a little bit ticked off. Notice head coach Mike Zimmer said, fine, I'll be the first one to tick him off then if I'm going to get that kind of performance from him.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A 6-yard pickup.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. This is Johnson. He's got it. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Johnson was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Cousins gives way to Cook. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Speaking of Cook, he continues to be a workhorse in the Minnesota backfield. More evidence of that in Week 7 against the Lions. 25 carries, a league-high 142 yards, 2 more touchdowns, give him 8 on the year. In fact, he leads the NFL in both rushing yards and touchdown runs. On 3rd down, Cousins. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 26. Off the play fake, Cousins. That is incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Play action now, Cousins. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Darren Lee in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. From the corner, it was Kendall Fuller with a sack. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Here's one of 2 Colquitts punting at our game here. This is Britton who gets the first shot. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The Chiefs offense taking the field. Of course, that quarterback spot has become an intriguing story for the Chiefs. Matt Moore, at least for the time being, Charles, is the guy. And this is a guy who's been around since 2007. 30 career starts, most recently for Miami a couple of years back. But what do they have in Matt Moore?
They have a guy that's going to be supremely prepared, understand the offense well, won't be ruffled or flustered by what he sees because he's a veteran guy, and he's a tough guy. Remember that Miami game a few years ago when he took that big hit and ended up coming back into the ball game? Actually, never left it. That's the type of guy you're going to get, and I think people respond to that. Is he Patrick Mahomes? In no way, shape, form, or fashion, but Mahomes sets the bar awfully high.
A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much, maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And quickly now, a look at the Kansas City offense.
In 2018, the Chiefs were looking for help in their offensive line, and they received it from guard Andrew Wiley, a formerly undrafted free agent. He settled in as a mainstay at guard and mauled people on the offensive line. They expect big things out of him in 2019 and beyond.
To throw on 2nd down. Moore. He's got it to Williams. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to have a 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle, and unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
And third down is a key down in any game you play, and third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
As we mentioned, here's older brother Dustin Colquitt to punt this one away. Back deep is a very dangerous Mike Hughes. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is fielded at the 27. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Vikings offense coming back out here, and it gives us a chance to revisit that 3-game win streak that they are on to get to 5-2 after the victory against Detroit. Dalvin Cook leading the league in rushing. He was great in Motown, and also off of him, they're using the play-action game and hitting all their receivers with great success.
And Kirk Cousins loves the play-action game. That is when he is at his best, when the running game is moving effectively. And Dalvin Cook, one of the top runners in the league. People need to acknowledge that now. That allows him to find people downfield. Now, the downside is Adam Thielen, maybe his favorite target, pulled a hamstring against Detroit. He may be out for a little while. That just means more opportunities for Stephon Diggs, who's been looking for that chance to really break out. I think Kyle Rudolph, the tight end, will get a few more. And remember this name, rookie receiver Olabisi Johnson. He'll have a chance to catch a few more passes as well.
Caught his first touchdown catch of his young career last week in that victory in Detroit. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 38, Cousins. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Frank Clark drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 1st down, Moore, complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. No score after 1 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter from Arrowhead, it's the Chiefs in possession as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Oh, you got deep?
First carry now for the backup, LaShawn McCoy. On the tackle that time, it's Trey Waynes.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece of our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Play fake. Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Well, partner, let's take a quick look ahead to Week 8. A couple of exciting matchups. Carolina at undefeated San Francisco, and then Green Bay and Kansas City on Sunday night. That should be a fun one.
It should be. In Green Bay, Kansas City, a rematch of the first ever Super Bowl that was played. Green Bay winning that one in Los Angeles at the Coliseum. But that Carolina-San Francisco game is so intriguing to me because to me it's a battle of defenses. Carolina's defense is playing at a high level, but is anyone playing better defense in San Francisco outside of New England? I would say no.
And then also Seattle at Atlanta, and I bring up that game because, gosh, if the Falcons lose, Dan Quinn might not have a job.
Yeah, and that's true, and I hate that because DQ is one of the best guys you're going to meet, and it was just 2 years ago his team was in the Super Bowl. But right now they're 1-6, and if they lose to Seattle, they're facing an open week, and there'll be a heavy discussion and a job referendum on him at that point. Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Watch out for him on the return. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Chiefs offense takes the field again here, and let's look at what happened Week 7. They beat up on Denver 30-6, and the Chiefs needed that after home losses to Indy and Houston. Now, the big story, of course, Patrick Mahomes, dislocated patella. That was the quarterback sneak play that everybody was talking about. And
hold on a second. What is a dislocated patella for us who don't understand, who don't speak medical?
I was just going to get there,
okay,
Mr. Davis.
Fault.
It's a dislocated kneecap.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but it seems like they might get him back sooner than they originally thought.
Yeah, originally, as you know, the word was, 3 to 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Now we're hearing reports that it may be on the low side of that, maybe 3 weeks. And if that's the case, he could be back for the Minnesota game after missing the Green Bay game on Sunday night.
And the key for him and why he could be back sooner, no ligament damage, a big sigh of relief. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Moore now. That's complete to Robinson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Ready. I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Now Moore, throwing on first down. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Here's Moore. From the gun, he'll throw. And Robinson with a big catch. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 41-yard line.
I know I'm an old defender, but I've got to give credit where credit's due. That was smart play calling right there on 3rd and 4. They didn't need to do too much. Just let their guy get out there and sit down in the zone. And they hit him for the completion for the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. Well, with Damian Williams, it's notable that the Chiefs didn't make a play to go after a big-time running back in the offseason. The coaching staff said back in May they didn't want running back by committee. They trusted Williams to be their starter. You remember last year he was forced into the starting role the final 3 games of the season due to attrition, and he really excelled. And then he was excellent in the playoffs against the Colts and Patriots. Strong indicator that he was ready to be the bell cow. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 25-yard line.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game, and brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal to go. To throw is Moore, operating from the gun. It's Kelsey on the ground. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now Moore. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Adam Thielen, he gets set to go again with the rest of this offense. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game.
Check 56. 6-man. Check girls, check girls, check girls.
A first down throw for Cousins. He finds his man Johnson. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Cousins now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Cousins to throw it. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That play was well covered, just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, we're not able to find any yardage on that one.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. They'll throw again. Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
First down, Minnesota.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Throwing, Cousins, and that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target, but it's going to be second down.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Cousins again. Complete. It's Johnson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 3 on what should be the final play of this first half. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been a hard-fought battle to this point. 7-0 is the score, with neither offense really able to get on track. But let's not waste any time. We'll get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the second half.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. before the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And they start the second half with a carry by McCoy. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Got it? 54, right there, 54, Mike. Not here!
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
He was brought down by Mackenzie Alexander. It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Okay, ready? 54. Mike, 54. I got it. Shoot.
More now. Off the play fake. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, it's Cook. Showed a good move, but quickly corralled just beyond the 10-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have the first down here as he's up to the 15. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. And they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
First down, here's Cousins. Pass incomplete. got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Cousins. And Diggs has it. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Here's Cousins trying to lay one up deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
They didn't have a ton of yards to pick up on that 3rd down, but there was no way they were playing that one safe. They decided to take that one downtown. They must have felt that they had a big play that was waiting for them. Unfortunately, it was incomplete.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. $51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Oh, now it's free. Hill fumbled it. And the Vikings pick up the football. Down the numbers. There he goes. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Go! 18 Gator. What's the run? They're running it.
They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
They'll swing this complete out to Hill.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
This is caught by Robinson. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. Third down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Here we go. 10-2 stop.
Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day.
Now a first down carry here from McCoy. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
I'm going to run you over. Clear. Get it.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And this is caught by Watkins. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Set. 90 Wolf.
Whip. Watch the whip.
Ready.
Moore from the gun on third down. And that is incomplete.
Moore's pass, intended for Tyreek Hill, incomplete. Results in a 4th down.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward.
65.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They run it again with Cook. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 94 yards. And the Vikings have taken the lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Extra point try by Bailey. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard, they trail as we start quarter number 4. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Watch the run, watch the run.
They'll keep it on the ground with McCoy this time. Anthony Harris on the tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Back to throw. Moore. He is going to find Hill here. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go again.
Shoot.
Operating from the gun. Moore. This is caught by Williams.
Hey, check.
It's a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at their 49-yard line.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. 2nd and 5. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll bring up 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on for the 5th time here today. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. On play action, Cousins going deep for Diggs. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. 16 yards, a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. The end result, 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run with Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So the Chiefs now down on the scoreboard. A little under 2.5 to go. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance.
Ready? 60 outlaw.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Now more on 1st and 10. Complete the tight end Kelsey. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's Moore on 1st down. It fights him off. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. There for the sack, Everson Griffin. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Moore now. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Tyreek Hill, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and 14.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Moore. From the gun, he'll throw. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
KC last year on 4th down, 12 of 15, 3rd best in the league, and they're going again. Moore now Throwing on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. And now out comes Minnesota. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Check 53, Mike.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning.
Throwing here, Cousins. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. They take to the air on the first play of the drive, and the pass just a little bit off there.
I thought there was some turbulence in the pocket there. Took him off platform, off schedule, unable to get set and make a nice throw.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a run with Cook. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They'll keep it on the ground. Cook. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Moore operating from the gun. This is complete to Watkins on a slant. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3-and-out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
Set. 15 line. 15 line. 54.
Drop deep, drop deep. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Mike
Please grip. Please grip.
On 1st and 10. Moore. That's complete to Robinson. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards, the final tally. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Kansas City, so long, everybody.